Today I'm going to be discussing the unspoken hierarchy within the lock community. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the Atreyu Locs channel. Hi, I'm Atreyu, a semi-freeformer who is dedicated to bringing you guys the best tips to grow a healthy set of locks. If this is your first time, make yourself comfortable. I am glad to have you. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I feel like there could possibly be an unspoken hierarchy within the lock community. So let me first explain what I'm talking about. So as you know, there are different camps, if you will, of lockers, right? We have the manicured lockers who retwist or who do maintenance in general pretty regularly. Some would say frequently. I used to be one of those. That's how I started out my journey. And then you have the semi-freeformers camp, which is the camp that I currently fall under. And we do maintenance less regularly, less frequently. For instance, instead of retwisting maybe once a month, once every 2 weeks, once every 2 months, like the manicured lockers, I now retwist sometimes 3 or 4 times a year, sometimes once a year. Maybe this year will be twice a year, we shall see. But the point is, it's significantly less frequently than I used to twist as a manicured locker. And then in the third camp, and some people would argue at the top of that hierarchy, at the top of the pyramid, you have the freeformers who, you know, boast very proudly about being all natural and not doing any manipulation and having great thick roots and locks as a result. And so I am curious to know what you guys think. Do you think that, for instance, freeformers think that they're better than semi-freeformers and manicured lockers because they have the willpower to not mess with their hair, the willpower to not care what anybody thinks about how their hair looks, because they have the sheer and utter patience, if they started from a mini fro, to wait for their hair to lock up on its own without any manipulation whatsoever? Do you think that freeformers feel that they have a badge of honor that lockers from the other two camps don't have? Hey, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you are notified every single time I upload. How about that? Moving to the semi-freeformers, do you think the semi-freeformers feel inferior to freeform lockers, yet superior to manicured lockers? Because it's like, hey, I may not be the cream of the crop, aka freeformers, right? But I'm still not doing all that the manicured lockers are doing. So, you know, I'm somewhere in between, and that's better than nothing. And then what about the manicured lockers? Do they feel inferior to the semi-freeformers and the freeform lockers? Here's what I think. Quite honestly, I do think that when it comes to the manicured lockers, they're not thinking about us semi-freeformers or freeformers. I think the manicured lockers are appreciating having every strand laying in place the majority of the time. I don't think that they're thinking that they're inferior. In fact, I bet that they're feeling pretty proud and they feel like they have bragging rights because their locks look nice and presentable, you know, a good majority of the time. Now, when it comes to semi-freeformers, I will say that, like I said in last week's video, I have kind of contemplated a freeform journey before, but I'm content where I'm at, and I just think it's great because I get to do both things. I get to have the best of both worlds. I'm a hybrid, as I like to call it. So I'm not really paying attention to what the manicured lockers are doing, nor am I paying attention to what freeformers are doing. Now moving on to the freeformers. I'm not gonna generalize, but I will say that I have been to some lock channels of freeformers who do seem to have this sort of arrogance and air of superiority about them because they are all natural, right? And because they're not doing everything that other lockers are doing. And I mean, that's true, they're not, right? But they still need to do certain things like wash their hair. But then comes into play what they even use to wash their hair. You know, a lot of lockers don't even use shampoo. They just do water rinses and things like that. So I would say that, yeah, I think you have people, you know, freeformers specifically, who do kind of have that unspoken air of superiority. They feel like they are doing it right, you know, and, you know, it's the best way. And one of the reasons that it's the best way is because they have a completely unique form. Their hair doesn't look like anybody else's. But every freeformer is obviously not like that. And I would say that anyone that thinks like that as a freeformer is not really doing it right or in it for the right reasons, right? If you've chosen the freeform lifestyle because you want to have bragging rights over other lockers and you want to situate yourself on top of a pedestal, then yeah, I think your motives are quite questionable. But as I said, not every freeformer is like that. In fact, I would probably say the majority of freeformers that I've seen have been very down to earth and, you know, just really cool. And they obviously embrace their journey, but they're accepting of other people's journeys as well. And speaking as a semi-freeformer again, that's kind of how I am, you know? Like, I feel like different things are for different people, and who am I to tell anyone what they should be doing? You can't really ever do that because people do things for different reasons, right? So those are my thoughts. Please give me yours down below in the comment section. Let me know if you think that there is this unspoken hierarchy within the lock community, and if so, elaborate. Tell me what you think the different members of the various camps are thinking. What do you think their perspective is? I am curious to hear your thoughts. If you choose to love, do so unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. This is Atreyu Locs, and I will see you next week. And I'm so excited because if all goes according to plan, I will have a guest on. Peace.